Welcome to the Impact Driven Entrepreneur, the place to turn your knowledge and skills into $5,000, $10,000, $20,000 packages that create a sustainable business that makes over six figures, all without having to keep up with the latest social media trends or having to sacrifice time with your family. This is for you if you're a professional who wants to help people with your services and you're ready to kill it in your coaching practice. Let's get into today's episode. When we experience self-doubt, what we want to do is really look at a couple of things. Number one, are we too focused on the how? So a lot of times if we're setting a goal and we experience self-doubt, the reason that we experience self-doubt is because we don't see the exact path to get there. But I want to tell you, as a super planner and somebody who's ran my own business for years now, I can tell you this: we can have the best of intentions on the how that's going to happen, and we can even put those plans into place, and then it fails. And then what happens? And that is the moment in which you end up either continuing to diminish your mindset and go into more self-doubt, or the other option, the other alternative is that you don't worry as much about the how. You just set that goal and you are determined and committed, patient, persistent in getting it, in attaining it, in saying, no matter what happens, I am going to figure this out. So that is an alternative option, right? The alternative option is, okay, let me take a look at what my goal is, and I'm going to do whatever it takes. I'm going to maneuver. I'm going to have 5 hows. I'm going to have 10 hows. I'm going to have 20 hows if I have to, right? 20 different strategies if I have to. I'm going to work my strategy all the way till completion. I am going to be patient and persistent. That is the difference between letting that self-doubt define you or stepping up to the plate and showing up anyways. I have been working on really feeling my emotions this year and being a lot more intentional, and fear is a normal part of life. And when we resist fear, when we are afraid of what might happen, and then we let that define us, we say, I am not going to do XYZ because I am afraid, or that doesn't feel good, or whatever, then we are letting that define us and stunt our growth. We're giving it power, we're giving it fuel. And so what I want to encourage you to do is, number one, just normalize this whole thing, right? I've said it multiple times here today. Everyone has fear, everyone has self-doubt. And I think it was around the same type of thing. Thinking that once we get to a level, we're not going to experience human experiences like self-doubt, like fear, and that just is not the case, okay? No matter, and like problems, right? No matter what stage of business you're in, no matter what you are doing and what's going on with you, you're going to experience normal human experiences like fear, like self-doubt, like problems, okay? And so I feel like these obstacles are an amazing opportunity for us to get those tools that we already know, like those tools that we already have in our past life, because we've overcome self-doubt before, we've overcome fear before. How did we do it? It's our time to take those experiences, learn from them, and apply the tools again to overcome them. Of course, if you need more tools, there's coaching, there's support, etc. But I do feel that we do have a set of tools that we usually, when we are in the mindset of, oh my God, I just can't do this, we don't even open ourselves up to solutions and possibilities and tools that can help us move forward. This video is brought to you by Raise Your Revenue Ceiling Freebie. In this free one-sheet checklist, I show you exactly what to do every day to raise your revenue. And if doing something every day feels super overwhelming to you, I got you covered. In this freebie, you're going to understand what those key areas are and start to create daily actions that align with you raising your revenue and doing it without overwhelm. So to get it, go to impactdrivenentrepreneur.com/ceiling to grab your free Raise Your Revenue checklist. I'll see you on the other side. So having this opportunity when we experience self-doubt to recommit to our vision, to really say, is this what we truly want? And to really be okay releasing how we're going to get it and just move forward anyways, okay? Number two is, I feel like this is where the why, like why we're doing the work we do, and this is my whole brand is built about on this, right? Impact-driven entrepreneurs. When we are strong on our why, we have an intrinsic motivator. So let's talk about intrinsic and extrinsic motivation. I cannot say that word today for some reason. So extrinsic motivation is when we are motivated by outside things. I want to make $1 million. I want to have like a house on the beach. I want all of this. That is an external motivator. And a lot of times those external motivators we feel are going to bring us internal satisfaction. And it's not always the case. Like, I remember looking at my life when I decided to become an entrepreneur and saying, okay, I got the career, I got the degrees, I got out of this type of corporate job and I got into the cushy office job where I got to wear regular clothes. I got that, and I didn't feel the fulfillment and satisfaction that I thought I was going to have. And that was a crushing moment. And the reason that was a crushing moment is because I had worked for years to get to this place. And the place was really inside of myself. And you guys have heard me talking about my spiritual woo-woo journey. But when I had that epiphany, I was like, oh, this is why those external things aren't working to motivate me. Like, I can be externally motivated all day long and I can achieve all that all day long and still have this gaping hole. And so in order for us to feel fulfillment, to feel successful, to feel happy and satisfied, number one, and it requires presence. It is not about when I attain it. It is about now. It is about doing the thing now. And that's where intrinsic motivation comes in. Intrinsic motivation is about you doing the thing for the pleasure of doing the thing. Okay? The second thing we talked about was internal versus external motivation. So internal motivation allows you to stay in the process, stay in the moment, and just take one step and just focus on what is my next thing. Right? It is staying in what I call mastery. It's like looking at, okay, what are the things I need to do to get better at doing this, and just get better at it for the fun of it, right? For the fun of, I want to get really good at doing webinars, or I want to just get out there and totally fail at 20 webinars. That is the difference, right? And why do we want to do that when you're an impact-driven entrepreneur? Usually it's because you have an amazing message to share with the world. You have a reason for touching people's lives. You want to help people with your work. And that is the beauty of the work that we're able to do. We don't have to have these external motivators, because as I mentioned, and if you're like me, maybe you've done some of these things that like you achieve, and it's all great, but then it's not nearly as fulfilling every single time as if we were to find that fulfillment from within in that present moment today, right now. So that's super deep. But I think that's helpful. The other thing I want to say about self-doubt and all of that is that you started your business for a reason, right? Like, in the moments of you going towards your business goal and deciding to start this business and just going out there, you did not have, let's say you had enough belief in yourself that you thought it was possible enough to start. Like, why on earth would you put yourself through all of the heartache that we've talked about and what it really takes, persistence, perseverance, like all of that, right? Why would you put yourself through all that if you didn't at your core, at some place, even if it's on one string of shoestring, believe that you could do this? You believed in yourself enough to start, which means you believe in yourself enough to commit to doing it, to going to the next level, to getting that result. And so I just want you to, if you're in that self-doubt and the can I really do this mode, remember that at one point, it's not that you don't believe in yourself. You absolutely do. If you did really and truly did not believe in yourself, you would not have started. So there are parts of you that believe in yourself, and it's really about letting those parts come back up. And then lastly is, how can you use your skills you already have, right? We lose sight of our current accomplishments, especially if you're an overachiever, like all my overachiever friends. We lose sight of our accomplishments, right? We're looking like to this top of this mountain, and we don't take a second to look back and see what we've actually done. There's one of my clients, I love her dearly. And every time that she gets into this, I'm like, but hold on, like you did this. It's this unbelievable list of accomplishments. And it goes back to, right, this whole external motivation thing. But here's the thing. Look at how far you have actually come. Take inventory. If I was to ask you, what made you money? What did you do? What are the results? What have you done, right? Are you able to say, I have this type of thing, I have this show, I have 5 blog posts, I have whatever it is for you. And if you have results, even if they're not like, I have 1 million downloads on YouTube, if you have results, then you can, number one, acknowledge them. Find visual ways, find ways for yourself to remind yourself of them. But number two, and I think this is an important thing, is like, how can you recreate those results again? And are you using those skills, those tools, those things that you've done to apply them to your business? They're not different. It's not a compartmentalized life that you live, right? You have a skill set that somebody was willing to pay for in your job. How can you use those things in your business to help you? And whatever those skills are, use them, double down on them. And those are some of the tips, tricks, and stuff that I would say, like when it comes to overcoming self-doubt. And it really all comes down to this mindset of, am I committed enough to my goal to go after it no matter what and just continue? And am I willing to move through the feel the fear and just continue, right? This is what it really takes to get to that ultimate goal, whatever your goal is. Because for everybody, we're setting goals that are big, hopefully. And if you're not, then we need to examine why we're not setting goals that are big. But really and truly, this is huge for everybody. So really look at what it is that you're afraid of and then work through it. Do it anyways. Reach out for support. Get the help that you need in order to move you forward. I hope you enjoyed this week's video. Make sure you hit the subscribe and the bell so that you get notifications about upcoming videos to help you to grow your 6-figure coaching business. It's your time to make an impact and help others with your knowledge and skills.